Hey there, and welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today. For the time we spend together right now, I want you to think of me as your personal professional business coach. We're going to put the blinders on. We're ignoring all that noisy, flashy hype out there, and we're strictly focusing on sustainable, long-term wealth building. You know, we live in a world that is totally obsessed with instant gratification, but as a coach, I can tell you the real magic happens when you stretch your timeline. Today, we're unpacking the 1% wealth formula, which is essentially a strategic guide to compounding success. Get ready, because we are about to completely rewire how you think about achieving your biggest goals.
So let's just dive right in with a pretty provocative question. What if becoming rich had absolutely nothing to do with luck? I mean, we have this pervasive, almost comforting belief in our society that building wealth is kind of like holding a winning lottery ticket, right? We look at highly successful people and just assume, well, they were in the right place at the right time. But today, we're challenging that head on. The shocking reality we're unpacking in this explainer is that achieving massive success really doesn't require a stroke of genius or some lucky break. All it actually takes is a 1% daily improvement. I know, it sounds incredibly small, almost too simple to be true. But as your coach, I need you to see how this microscopic shift in your daily routine changes literally everything about your long-term trajectory.
Okay, Section 1, the overnight success myth.
This is where we really need to sit down and do a serious mindset audit. I'm basically holding up a mirror to a very chaotic, very human desire that, let's be honest, we all share. We all want to get rich incredibly fast. We want to lose weight by next weekend. We want to launch a business and just be wildly successful in a matter of days. It's totally human nature to crave the shortcut. The amateur mindset is absolutely obsessed with getting rich fast, banking entirely on overnight success, and that just leads to erratic, unsustainable behavior. But the professional? The professional understands a fundamental truth. Real success is built one single day at a time. My primary goal for you today is to permanently shift you away from that amateur fast-track mentality, because that is simply not how wealth works in the real world.
Millionaires aren't built in a day. They are built one day at a time. We really need to completely dismantle this overnight success myth so it never holds you back again. When you look at individuals who have actually built sustainable, generational wealth, you aren't looking at a single lucky event or a flash in the pan. You're looking at a fortress. And that fortress was constructed through patient, deliberate, daily actions. It's brick by brick, day by day, habit by habit. That is the true reality of the professional wealth builder. And it's the exact foundation we're going to start laying for you today.
Let's move right along to Section 2, the 1% strategy.
So we've established the proper professional mindset. Now we need the actual blueprint. How do we compress this massive idea of building wealth into something practical, something that doesn't just cause immediate burnout? Well, we do it through 1% money habits. Reading just one page about investing, saving literally one extra dollar, learning one single new skill, making just one better decision than you did yesterday. As a coach, I absolutely love this framework because it entirely removes the overwhelming pressure of performance. Just imagine improving your financial habits by focusing on only one of these tiny things every single day. It requires almost zero willpower. You don't need to read a whole textbook, just read one page. You don't need to save $1,000 today, just save one extra dollar. It lowers the barrier to entry so much that failure is almost impossible.
And here is the profound secret underlying this whole concept. Small improvements compound over time. Just like money. I really need you to start thinking of your daily 1% actions as direct deposits into a high-yield savings account. These tiny inputs act exactly like financial interest. At first, when you read that one page or save that $1, you don't even notice the growth. It feels completely insignificant. But day after day, week after week, those tiny improvements start compounding on top of each other. The effort you put in today builds upon the slightly improved baseline you established yesterday. You're not just adding value, you are building exponential value.
All right, Section 3, the compound effect.
Now, this is where the math gets genuinely exciting, and where focusing on the long term truly pays off. Let's look at what happens after exactly 1 year of this consistent microscopic application. 365%. When we look at the math after 1 year of improving by just 1% every day, it's really easy to assume you're just 365% better. But here's the beautiful reality. Because of the way compounding works, the effect actually multiplies way beyond simple linear addition. You aren't just adding 1% to your original self. No, you're compounding 1% on a slightly better, more knowledgeable, wealthier version of yourself every single day. The results of consistent, daily effort are not flat. They are explosive.
Tiny daily improvements can create massive life changes. I want to pause here for a second and ask you to future pace. Just visualize your future state exactly 1 year from now if you truly committed to this. Imagine if you actually saved that extra dollar, read that one page of an investing book, and made that one slightly better business decision every single day for the next 12 months. It transforms from a tiny daily habit into a massive, completely unrecognizable shift in your lifestyle, your mindset, and your net worth. These micro actions, they are the true engine for massive life changes.
Which brings us to Section 4, Progress over Perfection.
Let's bring this coaching session into its executive summary phase and deliver our foundational, closing takeaway for long-term success. If you're going to execute this 1% strategy over months and years, you absolutely need a mental safeguard to keep you on track when life inevitably gets messy and you miss a day. And that mental safeguard is this exact quote: "Progress, not perfection." I am constantly reminding my clients that highly successful, wealthy people focus exclusively on moving forward. They completely remove the paralyzing pressure of needing to be perfect. If you stumble or, if you forget to read your page one day or you make a bad financial decision, it honestly doesn't matter. You do not need a flawless, perfect record to become a millionaire. You just need to keep inching forward. Perfection is an illusion, and frankly, it's the enemy of compounding. Progress, messy, consistent progress, is what actually keeps the engine running.
So, I want to end our session today with this final provocative thought. What will your 1% improvement be today? I am directly challenging you right now, as your coach. Please, don't let this just be another explainer you passively watch and forget about. I want you to take your very first micro action right now, the second this ends. Are you going to read one page? Are you going to move $1 into savings? Don't wait for tomorrow to build your wealth. Make that tiny 1% deposit right now and let the compounding begin.